Man, I remember I used to do these talks when we were stuck in traffic just to kill the time. And I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to maybe do one. I was looking through the comments today, and somebody actually asked for my advice on striking, boxing, kickboxing. And I thought, man, somebody wants my advice. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I got to thinking, like, well, what is it? What is it that I do? Like, when I make my content, what is it I'm trying to convey? Because I'm not an expert at anything. I'm a power lifter, and I've been doing that for, I don't know, 10 years, but I still very much consider myself in many ways a novice lifter, maybe I don't give myself enough credit, but like I'm trying to learn, I've had a couple of pretty severe injuries, and I certainly don't want to repeat those. So I've been really trying to, seek the knowledge of my peers, anyone that's willing. And I guess for me, what it comes down to is two things. Like, one, trying to stay teachable, no matter how much you think you know. Like, always be willing to learn or accept the criticism of others. And two, try to master something. The phrase, you can't serve two masters, so it becomes difficult. Like, when you're a guy like me and you're one of them restless types that's into a lot of things, like, my primary thing is obviously powerlifting. That's what I do, and I would consider that my competency. I'm pretty good at it. Like, I think that I'm one of the best people you could go to correct your form. So if you have form issues, leverages, that kind of thing, I've studied the human body, and I'm really, really good at customizing and tailoring lifts to specific people. And that, I would say, is a skill that I've honed and learned, and I've had a lot of help. But that's one thing I'm good at. I would not consider myself a coach, or I'm not good at programming. I seek the help for that. I mean, I follow the advice of, well, Bobby's my training partner, and he does my numbers for me. Now, could I do them myself? Would I be able to train on my own and still be good? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's that I want to learn to do it better. Like, I'm at the edge of being great. I'm good. I could be great, but I need assistance. Like, I can't do that myself. If I tried to do it myself, I would still be good. But I don't think I could achieve greatness without the assistance of you guys. Well, same thing with, kickboxing, boxing, hitting the heavy bag, learning footwork, that kind of thing. I'm not good at it. I mean, you've seen the videos. You can pick those apart easily. You can, matter of fact, some would even say I'm bad at it. But I really enjoy it, and I love it, and I'm like a student of the sport. I did kickboxing for a while. I did boxing for a while. That doesn't mean I was proficient at it. It just means that I went in the ring and got my ass beat. And I had a lot of fun doing it, and I want to get better at it. So that's another thing that I'm spending a lot of time trying to learn. So that's two masters right there. The third master is mobility and flexibility. Now, at my age, with the injuries I've had, I lost nearly all my mobility. When I got into powerlifting, I could barely walk up a flight of stairs. So I've really, really learned to get in tune with my body and learn its limitations and try to push that. And my goal is to be, like, have you ever seen Van Damme? What is he, in his 60s, and the guy can still do the splits? And he's amazing. I mean, yeah, you can make fun of him for all his silly, stupid 80s movies, and maybe he's not the greatest actor in the world, but physically speaking, the guy's a specimen, and that's what I want to be. So that's three masters. And I also like to paint Warhammer figurines, and I consider myself a bit of an artist. And so that's four masters. And I like to give tattoos. I could just keep making the list longer and longer and longer of things that I like. Automotive, I love working on cars. Carpentry, I like building shelves. I could build you a house if you wanted to. If you gave me time and materials, I could build you a house from scratch. I could do it, the whole thing, and it would be to code. It would be a solid structure, and it would look good. And I might have to subcontract out a couple of things, but for the most part, I'm your guy. So now our list of masters is what? What are we up to? Then now it becomes, if you're trying to do too much, you're risking spreading yourself thin, and you ever heard the term jack of all trades, master of none? Well, that's a guy that you could reliably get in on any project. If you need an extra dude, you can grab that guy and he's going to be okay. He could probably come over and fix your sink if it's plugged up, or if you got some minor automotive issues, he's that mechanical dude that's just handy to have around. But you notice that, like, his house is a piece of shit. His car looks like crap, and he does all of his stuff looks like garbage, but he fixes everyone else's stuff. That's that guy. And that's kind of what I was for a very long time. And I realized, like, I can't do everything. I can't be everything to everyone. And I want to become a master at something. So I've thrown my hat into powerlifting. That's what I'm going to be an expert at. That's what I'm going to master. But the cool thing is if you can find like a synergy. Boxing is what? Cardio. Well, how do you maintain your weight class? You got to do cardio. So you can fit that into your powerlifting program reasonably. Now, I can't focus on it to the point where I'm going to become good enough to get in the ring and fight somebody unless that is all I did. If that's all I did was just focus on boxing or kickboxing, I'm pretty sure I'd get really good at it. But it's not a reasonable pursuit for a 49-year-old man to get into shape, get in a ring, and get the crap kicked out of him. Like, that's not a long-term. It's just, I don't see that as like improving my life and my family. It's a selfish pursuit, and if I were to do that, it would be very irresponsible of me. Although, I'll be honest with you guys, I really like getting punched in the face. I don't know what it is. I just like combat, mutual combat. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. As long as both guys agree to it, I think it's great. I love it. It'll man you up real quick. I think every guy should get punched in the face so that they realize they're not made out of glass, and you will surprise yourself. But I digress. I don't want to get too far off topic. The topic is, what we're talking about is like, how do you fit your multiple passions in a way that they benefit each other so that they don't take away from your main focus. So boxing, kickboxing, that could fit into the cardio section. Mobility. Well, hey man, like, what are we doing? We're strength training. We're getting stronger, but there's a lot of power lifters that can lift a ton of weight that could barely touch their toes. And I'm not calling you out if you think I'm like bagging on you because that's you. It's not, because I was there. I was that guy. And I'm saying you don't have to, you take 15 minutes, 10 minutes a day and do a few simple things, you can get that mobility back. And it really, really sucks if you're older and you've lost it, because it's going to require a lot of dedication and a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of being uncomfortable to get that back. But you can. And the whole reason I showcase me being awful at what I do is so that you can see me progress and get better at it. So you know that it's doable. You can get it done. If you go back, and I've saved every single video I've ever made, and it's hard for me to watch some of the earlier ones. When I thought I knew something, oh God, I go back and watch it, and I'm like, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. I actually thought I knew what I was talking about. Hey, you know what? We don't know what we don't know. And when you learn something, the one thing I have always been reasonably good at is saying, you know what, I was wrong about that. And that's okay. It's okay to admit you're wrong. Don't get married to something to the point where you feel like you have to suffer through something you don't truly believe in because you have committed to it. You think you're going to look foolish if you go back on what you really thought you believed in. That's a problem for a lot of people. That's why they get stuck in ideology. When they find out that their way is not the best, or maybe they didn't know something, or they thought they were good at something and they realized they had a lot to learn. When their opinions are changed, when they're confronted, I'll speak for myself, when I'm confronted with the fact that I was wrong about something, the best thing to do is own it. Hey, you know what? I thought I was right and I was wrong. This is a better way. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how we grow. And one thing that I've learned to do is temper my expertise, if you will. So when people ask me questions or seek advice, I will often say, I make disclaimers like, hey, this is how I do it, and this is what works for me, but that doesn't mean it's the best way, even if I really believe it is. If I think it's something that's really going to help you, I'm going to push you, and I'm going to really like, hey, try this out, do it, just try it, like my wife with HIT. Because when I first tried it, it sounded hooey to me, I didn't think it was going to work. But, after reading Bobby's book and talking to him, and he pleaded his case, and what it came down to is, what did we have to lose by giving it a try? But the point is, I no longer try to represent myself as any kind of an expert. I'm just a guy that lifts weights, and I think I'm pretty good at it. And hopefully, what I do, my content, I really hope it does help somebody. Because my favorite thing on YouTube, the thing that's been really cool about it, is the collaboration that I've gotten from so many people. You guys have helped my progress in ways that I don't think you can really appreciate. When I say that what I'm doing at my age has not really been done before by a guy in my age group, I really mean that. It's 49 years old. I'll be 49 in July. And I've put over 200 pounds on my total in 2 years. That's insane. Like before I started doing this style of training, if I put 10 pounds on my bench in 6 months, I thought I was making good progress. And I realized, no, you were training wrong. And that's what I want to impart more than anything. It's why I'm so passionate about this. It's like, it's not that I think you're doing it wrong. I just want you to have what I have. I want you to succeed like I've been succeeding. I want every single lifter in my weight class to beat me. If he took my principles and just ground me into the dirt and lifted 150 pounds more on the squat than me, and I got to say that I contributed to that, that means I accomplished something. I don't give a crap if I put 10 more pounds on my total when I'm the number one guy in that rank. I have the highest squat. Who cares? But if somebody else was able to take something I did and then outlift me, that's awesome. That is what it's about. It's what I live for. It excites me. It keeps me going. It motivates me when you guys are doing your thing and I see you all you amazing athletes lifting these heavy weights, and it just, those days I'm feeling down and I don't want to go out there and do it. I want you guys. That's what it's all about to me. Anyway, I don't know. I was just trying to kill some time in traffic, and I thought I would share my thoughts about things. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, guys. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Do I get a prize? Cookies? I don't know. Do I get a email from YouTube saying you're still a loser and you'll never be anything, you'll never amount to anything? I don't know. But hey, lifters like increments. 405-pound bench, awesome. 395-pound bench, what's the difference? 5 pounds? We like those increments. We like the 4 plates, 5 plates. And I guess 1,000 subscribers is 4 plates. I don't know. Maybe it's 315. Or maybe, you know what? It's probably the first time you bench 225. Remember that feeling? You're in the gym and you finally put 2 plates on the bar and you're at EOS Fitness and you're the strongest guy in there and you're like, everyone's like, wow, look at you go. And then the first time you walk into a powerlifting gym, you realize, what? You thought you knew something. That's what I'm talking about. We think we know things. Stay teachable. It keeps you young.